Hey, 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 Sean. Conscious vibrations. Hey, Green Apple, welcome. Guy Earth, what's up, buddy? Arian, hey, have you caught the live? You actually got a notification. Oh, okay, good. Glad you were able to make it. Recently discovered your content. Very on point. Jasmine, welcome. Thank you. Hey, Unc, be well and hello. What's up, man? Chin Indigo Goddess. Life is great, yes. Life is good, yes, Gaia. My husband and I've been binge watching you and listening to your music feed. Say, oh, I love that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. And you love it. Thank you. That's what it's all about. Meanwhile, I'm going to make my family and friends aware that I'm live on Facebook. And y'all can kind of just chat amongst yourself. What's up, fam? I finally caught an actual live at the job. It's going to be good. I hope so. And welcome. AB, what's up, brother? I like the haircut. Yes, y'all know I don't like to stay in one zone, you know. I'm always trying something different. It's that's the artist in me. Y'all see the little sideburn? See that kind of little fade here? You know, I'm working with it. I've been cutting my own hair since 15. And you know, I've had some hits and misses. But yeah, the sideburns. Love it. I don't know why I look so light. I must be glowing from inside out. Do I look light to y'all? Lighter than usual? Thank you. Thank you, Revamp Skunk, and welcome. Mr. Cruz, you know, it's always good to see you, brother. Looks like your light body is showing through. Yeah, you know, and it's always been like that. I can FaceTime and live with people, and I look light skinned on the live, but when you see me in person, I'm brown. It's weird, but no, it's not weird. You're right. It's the inner light shining through. The glow is shining through. That's what it is. Even my arms, see that? So people don't know It's not trick lighting. I'm just literally glowing from inside out. Um, DJ, what's up? Hey, brother, my wife is Green Apple. Well, welcome. Oh, it's a family affair. I like that. Gaia Earth, we have to do that TikTok live together soon. You know what? We're gonna make it happen. You know, they let me ask y'all something. Speaking of TikTok, um, some of you guys are aware that I do have a TikTok account. I don't post there regularly, but I post there enough to definitely have more views and traffic that is showing, right? And so, why is it that although my likes and my views are already not that great, I get these notifications stating that they detect disingenuous likes? Have y'all ever heard of that? And because of these disingenuous likes, they go in there and they delete and remove these disingenuous likes. I want to know, have y'all ever heard of such a thing? Have any of you guys who have a TikTok account ever got a notification stating that they detect disingenuous likes, and because of it, they're removing them? No. I'm just checking in because, you know, and then what is really interesting when we look through TikTok, there are people who have nothing but a picture no content, no nothing, no bio, no nothing, and they have hundreds of followers. And I've even seen some, and you guys know this, I've even seen some TikTok um, channels with nothing, and they have hundreds of followers. And here I've been posting, have about 100 videos, and I only have about 123 followers. And I know my family alone, I know a lot of people, my friends, family, and circle alone is more than that. Yeah, it's targeted excuse with shadow ban. Perfectly said. I'm not going to put anything in anyone's mouth. That's absolutely what I'm getting. And just like the strange anomalies that happens here, I still have not found anyone whose channel name, as you type, don't even populate its recommendations. So, I always say I'm unique and one of a kind, and I guess that translates across the board. I embrace my uniqueness. Hey, it's all good. I don't care about fame and popularity, but I'm going to tell you guys what I do care about. I care about people getting what is rightfully theirs. That's what I really care about. I care about fairness, justice, and equality, and I have not been treated fairly and just on any of these platforms connected to Google. Google is the hub, and I'm on record stating that. That's going in my book of life. That's going in the Akashic Records. The Star family know. Y'all see it. And I'm not going to let it slide because you're not going to cheat me and disrespect my work and my sacrifice. You're not paying me anything and think I'm going to let that go by and by. So I want what is rightfully mine. If I get someone hits that like button, that's mine. I rightfully earned it. Let it be. If I get a view, I rightfully earn it. Let it be. If someone share my content in good faith, you should not be taking it upon yourself, making sure that others don't see it. Because again, you're not paying me anything to control what I put out in the way that you're doing it. And y'all know who I'm talking about. And don't think it's not being noted. And again, I'm that's all I'm going to say. And this is kind of been a theme of my life where, even when I was working a regular slave job, 9 to 5, there was always someone or a group of people conspiring, trying to keep me from getting what I rightfully deserve and what is rightfully mine. And there's a lot of jealousy and envy rooted in that. You guys will be surprised that the people who do these things, they got all this money, got all this leverage, got all this status, they got all the privilege in the world. But when they see people like myself, we trigger them, and it kicks up a lot of jealousy and envy because they know deep down inside I have something, and people like us have something that they know they will never have doing the things that they do. So they have their temporary artificial leverage of power, thinking they're wielding control and power over us. But what you're really doing is putting your ass in the ringer because you're going to pay for what you're doing. And that applies to everyone, whether you're taking orders or not. Because at this point, you should know better. And don't set up AI to do the dirty work, because this is what they're doing. They think setting up AI and setting the algorithms to do the dirty work would absolve them of their cause and effect or karma. But that's not how it goes, because every bit of our creation will always come right back to the source. Divine Warrior, I'm glad you made it, family. Welcome. Gaia Earth said, one night I woke up in the middle of the night and seen some entity actually standing over top of me, still in my dream. Oh yeah, that's a big one. I've talked about that in the past, that there are highly telepathic beings who will steal your dreams. They know how to hack your dreams. They know how to manipulate your dreams. And don't for one second think that these beings do not know how to do this. With these people who are given near-death experiences where they say they've been taken to hell and even heaven-like experiences, they're involved in some of that too. People have a hard time wrapping around their mind that they are highly advanced beings who knows how our consciousness works. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Every night we dream, right? We see houses, places, and things, everything we see and that the brain has recorded in the dream state just as real as you and I are sitting here when we're in it, right? Have you ever dreamed and had a radio on or the TV on, in your dream with all the characters that your mind created would literally act out what you're hearing from the TV and the radio? That's your consciousness. That's your mind creating realities unconsciously, whole vivid realities in your mind. We can do that because we are fragments of quote unquote God or the Almighty. So collectively we do it like we're doing it right now, and individually in our own space in the cosmos, we can literally create an entire universe with our own mind. So there are beings who know this. They don't want us tapping into this, learning and understanding and mastering this so that we continue to give our power to them, make them as they make us believe that they're our gods, or they make us believe that we don't worship and follow and believe whatever contract or agreement you must accept. Read between the lines. You must accept in order to get this. When you accept anything, that is consent. When we consent, we give up our power. We give our power to an external source, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. So this is a lot of what's going on down here. You have very powerful parasitic forces taking advantage of gods who are in a collective state of amnesia and manipulating our consciousness to the point we continue to give our power to them or they steal it from us. Jasmine says, welcome, Jasmine. Do you think the twin flame phenomenon is an example of a high? Listen to me carefully when I say this. Every single major point of focus, discussion, narrative is and has been hacked. There's always going to be some truth in there mixed in with the lie. So to answer your question, yes, but that does not mean that the entire concept is bogus. Shondell says, sometimes I do have bad dreams, nightmares. Some do mention nowadays. I do hear or heard the dark forces because some of us do know they love to feed fear. And fear is how they sustain their power. That is the most effective tool of power, manipulation, and control in all of creation. And here's why a lot of these people who have these near-death experiences and they go to these scary, dark places, it's because their wiring and their indoctrination is more geared in a fear state of consciousness. And then if they're smoking and drinking and doing drugs, it weakens their protection. And these entities can see that. And they will just take that fear, project it back to them to get them to consent to the entities or the manipulators' will. Why don't we, people like me, have experiences like this? I'm going beyond, consciously going beyond the veil, interfacing with different kind of beings all the time. Now, when I was younger and coming into it, I had some experiences, but it still wasn't to the level where these beings could completely fool me, because I guess just being born with the veil over my face, I had some kind of predisposition to not completely fall for it. But yes, in my earlier days coming into this, I saw some of the manipulation, but you don't see them constantly playing these games with people like us because we can see through them and we can see through it. So I'm not going to be too long because this is my workout day. I wanted to get on here and I'm going to do something I've never done before. It's kind of like y'all know I don't follow what other people do, but it's just to kind of, I multitask all the time. So I'm like, I wanted some fruit and I made me a little mini fruit cup. So I'm going to be eating a little mini mukbang. I hope y'all not offended by any smacking, because when I eat my food, I smack. I enjoy it. I don't hold back. I love fruit and my digestive system loves fruit too. I'm telling you, my digestive system moves so smoothly and freely. Y'all know how open and candid I am about pooping. You know, I love it when it's going, it comes out so smoothly. And, you know, this may be too much information, but, you know, I really love it when you wipe and there's nothing on the tissue. I mean, hey, that's some good system ruling right there. So that's some good system running right there. So I'm eating more fruit than I usually do. And I do this again as a living example. You define my age. I'm not only not look anything like my actual biological man-made age, but I don't move like anything like my biological man-made age. I can go to a club if the right music is on, and I will be on that floor dancing from the time I get in that club to the time it closes. We're talking about I've done it. Now I haven't been to a club in years, but I know I can still do it. We're talking about 4 or 5 hours straight, just in my little corner, getting my workout on, dancing, okay? And some 19, 21-year-old, all out of breath, want to sit down, take a break. That's why I say this age stuff, and I'm gonna kind of touch into this age, what age really is. I'm gonna touch on it when I get through these subject matters, but let me eat a little bit of fruit real quick. But I just came on to talk about a subject matter that is really by special request, and because it is something that I experienced and have been doing most of my life, I have never had what you would call a regular sex life. I had sexual experiences and sexual encounters, and I can count how many people I've had that with outside of the molestation. But by and large, the majority of my life has been celibacy. And for the most part, it is and was by choice, especially after I went through a phase of porn. When you guys saw the video I had done about a couple of years ago, talking about how I went through a phase where porn was my love life, because I really didn't trust people, and the kind of people that I'm attracted to, they would have to stimulate me mentally. I'm an Aquarius. We are very, very ruled by mental stimulation. If you can get us mentally and we have a mutual attraction, mutual respect, and at this point where I am, if I do have a high calibration level and we're mutually attracted to one another, hey, I don't have no problem with intimacy. I don't have no problem getting it, and I don't have any problem doing it, okay? I'm good at it with the right one, but I have the level of control over my mind and my body where I can go years without it and not feel like I'm losing my mind or doing something sadistic, crazy, or anything like that. And I'm not doing anything that every single one of us have the capability of doing. It's a matter of mind over matter. Can y'all hear me well? Miss Kitty Lulu, welcome. I want to really give a special shout out to Miss Kitty Lulu, and you know why. We briefly chatted before we got online. She was asking me about that emergency broadcast alert that came out today. I heard about it, but I didn't give a lot of attention to it because I didn't feel like it was anything serious. However, I do know why they have to set this system in place, because a time is going to come when it is going to be used for what it was put in place to do. And that's a good thing depending on what position you're sitting on, and it's not going to be a not so good thing for others. And I text Miss Kitty Lulu before, letting her know that I know about it, but I don't think it's anything serious. I think it's just going to be like a testing type of thing. And Miss Kitty Lulu, did I not say that? And that's all it was. And you had all these people online saying it's going to be this and that. These people, with these massive platforms that's supposed to have some kind of inside intel, telling people something that it's going to be another big monumental thing when it really isn't. It's showing that I have 22 people in the room and only 13 likes. Y'all know the politics of this environment. I've never done a live. I don't think I've ever done one on a Wednesday and this early. I decided to switch it up a little bit. I know that a lot of people are at work. A lot of people can't take a break from work and catch it live. So I don't expect that many people to be in here. But for the number of people that I know and the people who watch my stuff, I know easily I should consistently have at least well over 200 people every time I do a live, at least. The fourth element, I remember a fellow subscriber named Unplugged from the Matrix said that we too can create places or worlds, scary or beautiful, and that is what entities do to people who have NDD. Yeah, they take our energy, they take our power. We are creators. We create unconsciously, subconsciously, and this ties into this whole thing about celibacy and semen retention. There's a reason why we live in a world where they have sex everywhere and they're constantly pushing sex, have sex with anybody, anytime, anywhere, do it any kind of way you want with anybody. If that was really a good thing, do you think this beastly system would be encouraging people to do it? Then there's the opposite side, the religious. They tell people only between marriage and only between a man and a woman, all these rigid rules, right? Speaking of which, I'm drawing this point that I'm about to make to a lot of people. And this, again, I'm provoking thought, but I can say more on it. Why is it that there are all these commandments in these religious books forbidding consenting adults from engaging in sexual activity in whatever way consenting adults may want to have it, but they're not specifically outright crucifying people who are people? It rhymes with great. It's not specifically condemning people who harm children in that way. Have y'all ever asked yourselves that? Consenting adults going to go to hell for all this stuff, but people who victimize other people, these books are not specifically citing that as problematic in those major religions' God's eyes. Again, I'm provoking thought here. I can say more on it, but all they're going to do is, you know what? I'm in the process of upholding my, rehauling my website. I have a different, what you call it? Not a browser. What you call it? I have a different service provider. Thank you. I have a different service provider, and I'm going to be putting up videos talking more specifically and in detail about subjects I can't share here. The difference this time is to access those videos, you're going to have to sign up to be a member. Only members will have access to those videos. I'm not going to make it just available to the general public. So again, going back to the point that I was making about consenting adults exploring and bonding and doing what we do when we come together, and all these people having such a problem with that. But when we bring the light on the thing that rhymes with grape and children, it's all crickets. Nobody getting up. These people don't even get as angry, seemingly, and upset and want to do video after video after video condemning people who do that. But they want to constantly make videos about people who are of alternative lifestyles and what consenting adults generally are doing, and whether someone pansexual, heterosexual, all this dumb mess. Consenting adults should have the right. It ain't no should have the right to define themselves any way they want to. We have the right to express ourselves however the hell we want to, because whatever we do impacts each other. The problem is those who go out there and harm others. That's what society need to be focusing on and putting laws on the books and keeping on the forefront, not who's what some consenting adult is doing and who they dating, who they marrying, all this, what race and all this dumb ass shit. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous. And the reason why I really get hot about it, because I don't see that level of anger and disgust when it comes to children and the innocent. I was about, the older I get, I may stay looking youthful, but those filters lessen. I'm noticing the filters, man. I want to use the F word. It is effing disgusting to me when we have a sea of people more bothered about what consenting adults and more focused on what consenting adults are doing and not what is being done to children, the elderly, and the innocent, and women. Ms. Kitty Lulu, also I just shared on my Facebook page about this Black pastor who founded the Church of God in Christ. He's really a hoodoo worker, somebody snatching. Y'all know I talked about that years ago, that a lot of these pastors and reverends, these so-called priests that was ordained down here, they are not there to do what they're telling people they're doing. That's why for a lot of them, their religion is what I was talking about with the children. That's a ritual to appease the beings and the gods that they are in allegiance and are in bed with, pun intended. If these rituals where they want people who are vibrating very bright and high, so they can serve. You know how many people love to get this? I'm not talking about my body. I'm talking about my energy, the power. This is a lot of power here. And I know it's not arrogance. It's not cockiness. I earned and went through hell to get it. And to sustain it is work. But I get it. And a lot of you have the power too. You know how many people love to have this? And this is why you'll find many of us who do what I do. We do not sleep around. We just don't. Because we know we got the assignment. We ultrastand. Ultra means the ultimate level of understanding. We ultrastand the assignment. We cannot just share our bodies with any and everything and everybody, because not only can these parasitic beings steal our energy and gain more power in the world, but we can have people who are not even equally yoked to us take our energy and really throw us off of our path and cause us to have sickness, mental, physical diseases. So now that leads me back to the main talking points that I want to cover here, and that is celibacy. I want to talk about celibacy first. What I want to do is I want to read an article from a medical perspective, and then I'm going to give you guys my metaphysical, spiritual perspective on the matter. And then I'm going to talk, I'm going to talk a little bit about semen retention. Now, celibacy and semen retention can be one and the same, but truthfully, in another way, it's not. That's why I need to make a differentiation between the two. But before I really get into that, I want to tell you guys, I did a quick calibration reading of the planet. And this is a testament of the work that brothers and sisters such as yourself has been doing for years. Now, you guys know calibration levels go up and down. They can switch and change at a second or moment's notice. But I am happy to say that the current calibration level of this plane, this reality we are in right now, is right at 700. Now, 700 is entering right into the Christ consciousness level. Here is why we are seeing more people than ever in this reality waking up to what's really going on. We're seeing people more than ever rejecting toxic teaching, toxic anything. We even see people who have a toxic way of being seeking higher ground. So that means 700 is the Christ level consciousness. The highest calibration is for Earth, it goes beyond 1,000, but for the physical body, the highest calibration level is 1,000. But the Earth still is in the collective Christ conscious range. That means energetically, the Christ consciousness is dominating. Now, here, what they're going to do with the mainstream media, because certain groups still control that. Y'all saw that orb fly by? Did y'all see that? It was a flash of light or orb flew over. That's validation. Did y'all see that clear as day? Um, that is validation that we have made such a shift. But the other side, who controls the mainstream media, is going to dig up the most negative they can find, the most low vibratory people, the most ignorant, the most degenerate, and keep pushing them to the forefront, giving the illusion that they are dominating. You see? You see the game? And this is how I've been describing it for years. This is what they do. All right? So let me start off by reading this article to you guys. It's called The Psychological Benefits of Celibacy, and it's medically reviewed by Gabriella Picardo, MD, and it's from WebMD. That's webmd.com. And it says, few things are as personal as the decisions you make about your sex life. Choosing when to have sex and with whom is a private process. I just said that. And everyone comes to their own choices about sex. Some people enjoy a full sex life while others choose to abstain from some or all sexual activity. There are benefits to both options. People who choose to be celibate can find that not having sex helps their mental health. Some say that sex was a distraction or preoccupation for them and found that abstinence helps to keep their minds clear. Other people find that sex causes them stress and they're happier not worrying about it. Learn more about the mental health benefits of celibacy and why some people make that choice. Again, what is celibacy? Celibacy is the practice of not having sex, but not everyone defines celibacy the same way. Some people abstain from all kinds of sexual contact, including kissing, holding hands. Others only refrain from sexual intercourse. Some people use masturbation in place of partner sex. Others refrain from that as well. You might associate celibacy with religion, but faith isn't the only reason why people decide not to have sex. Reasons for abstaining from sex include preventing pregnancies and STDs and sexually transmitted infections, STIs, waiting for a certain level of romantic commitment, focusing on school or your career, managing mental health concerns, managing physical health concerns. Choosing the boundaries of celibacy can be empowering for people who want to make thoughtful choices about sex. Some couples choose celibacy together and set up their own parameters. Being able to talk about your personal sexual choices with your partner is a key part of voluntary celibacy. Reason to choose celibacy. There's no doubt that sex is a complicated issue. Remember I said years ago, sex has a multifaceted level. It's not just procreation. That applies only for animals and when we're in our primal state. We're well beyond that. While it's a way that many people express love and affection, it also comes with some risks. Some people, the risks of sex outweigh the benefits and they feel better if they abstain. One of the other factors of reason to choose celibacy is low stress. Pregnancy and sexually transmitted infections are serious risks people take if they engage in sexual relationships. Some people prefer to set aside those worries entirely by not having sex. Some people choose to only participate in sexual activities such as kissing, petting, or cuddling. Those activities have a low risk of sexually transmitted disease and sexually transmitted infections. Some people do it for religious satisfaction. For people who have strong religious beliefs about sex outside of marriage, celibacy can support their spiritual lives. They may feel more connected to their faith and can be less concerned about breaking their religious principle. Increased focus while abstaining from sex doesn't directly clear your mind. Some people feel more able to concentrate on school or work if they're not thinking about sex. Choosing to be celibate frees them from thinking about or planning sexual encounters. Without sex as a distraction, they can put all their energy into other activities. Studies have found that girls who delay sexual activity are more likely to finish high school. Think about the number of girls who slipped up and got babies and that derailed them or pushed things back. Um, Healing from trauma or grief. This is one of the reasons why I chose celibacy, and I'll get back to that. People who have been through a traumatic experience or loss of a loved one may need to put all their energy towards healing. Abstinence gives them time to focus on their emotional needs so that they can recover. Now I'm going to get into the drawbacks or the cons of celibacy. Some people end up not having sex because they don't have a partner. That can be distressing for some people. Not only might they miss the physical pleasure of sexual activity, but they may also be lonely. People who have people who have trouble starting or sustaining meaningful relationships may experience depression and anxiety. In this case, mental health counseling may help them address their relationship questions. In rare cases, a lack of sex might hurt your health. There are known health benefits to sexual activity, including cardiovascular health, however, there are other ways to get cardio benefits. Um, Regular exercise might replace the boost to heart health that sexual activity provides. Deciding to no longer have sex could do damage to a relationship if you are currently in one. That's very rampant. Y'all know that one. Entering into a period of celibacy, if you have a partner, can be confusing for your loved one. If your partner doesn't agree to your new plans, it could put a strain on your relationship. You and your partner should have an open conversation about sex and respect each other's boundaries. I so agree with that one. An additional risk of celibacy is that you may not be prepared if you decide to engage in sex again. If you make a spur of the moment decision to have intercourse, you may not have proper birth control or STI prevention methods lined up. If you are considering sexual activity, make sure you thought ahead about protecting your health. Sexual choices are personal. No one should feel pressure to engage or not engage in any sexual activity that does not feel right. And that one ended on a very good, solid point that I want to touch on. And that is the social pressures to have sex. Now, men have this primal thing. It's almost like they want to look like one got a leg up over the other. And this is why a lot of men treat women more like property and things more than a human being deserving of love, kindness, and respect. And this is where a lot of men lose out on developing emotional intelligence. A culture that trains and indoctrinates men to think that real manhood is rooted in bedding as many women as you can get, loosely spreading your seed with no intelligence, no intentions on providing for the woman you're laying down with, no intentions of providing and properly raising children. This ties into reckless procreation. This is what I've been talking about. The majority of our communities are being birthed out of reckless procreation. Now, then we have the females who have internalized that toxic programming, who think that if they don't have a man or any kind of man, they are less of a woman. There's something wrong with them. And that if they don't have a man, they can't feel safe, they can't feel protected. And that somehow having a man, if they have low self-esteem, never ever have a baby and try to have a baby if your self-esteem, that's a whole nother subject matter. You're looking for a man because you have low self-esteem. You don't even really know your self-worth. And so we have these men with this toxic mentality, and we have these women and females who have been wounded. They have fathers who have failed them. Some of them don't have fathers. They never felt genuine love from a man. And so that indoctrination that is being fed to the males, the women is subconsciously soaking that up too. And that creates, again, grounds for reckless procreation. Reckless procreation is what? Procreating with no intelligence, procreating and having sex and having oops babies with people you have no honor, no love, no equal mutual love and respect for, no intentions of marrying or committing your life to protect and guide and empower and engage one another in the most healthiest way, and to pass that on to your children. And through all of this reckless procreation, we are bringing in lowly spirits. Think about it, lowly spirits, and are adding to generational curses. That is the side effect of reckless procreation. And I want that term to become a household term. So we start reversing the tide so that when we decide to bring forth a child, however way we want to, it's about the intention. If you love, have love, reverence, and respect for your partner that you're choosing to create this child with and through, and it's mutual, and you have made that commitment, and your calibration levels are good, and you're equally yoked, you're more likely to bring forth a high calibrating soul, a soul that's going to come down here and amp up and bring more light to a dark world. You get it? So that's one form of procreation. I'm taking procreation to another level. The procreation, when we come up with ideas, sex, our sexual energy, which is life force energy, is and can be channeled into an idea and to create and manifest or attract what it is that we have in terms of a vision, an idea, a song, a book, something for the betterment of humanity, so on and so forth. So here, from the way I see it in society, I see people, the religious community, using sex in a very unrealistic, unhealthy way, and that the byproduct of that is creating these down low men, these down low freaks. I'm just going to say it like I've seen it and still see it. A lot of these women, now I'm not saying this in judgment, and I'm not saying this to condemn anybody, but we know the Akashic records got this, and man here on earth have the data to support this. Many of the abortions that are happening are the result of many women and females who are in church, who got caught up running that program and are going to get rid of the evidence that they slipped up. That is again the side, one of the negative side effects of the unrealistic expectation that one should hold out for sex until marriage. What if you hadn't met, you pushing 60 years old, and you hadn't met the right one yet? And for women, the odds of that is even less likely to have heterosexual women. The odds of that happening is far less likely. So the urge to want to, excuse me, the urge to want to feel love and to have a connection or feel a connection, the woman can't just live her entire life and ignore that. Now, people may say, well, nuns do it. Well, on the surface, it looks like they're not doing it, but many of those nuns behind us, and remember what I said? You got down low men, you got some down low freaks, and I'm talking about all of the major religions got them. You're not fooling me. We know, we see it. So I'm focusing on the reckless procreation, the reckless side of having sex with no intelligence and in our lower nature. Some of the, just a few, and I could do a whole video, I can keep going on this, but I just want to share and speak on it enough to provoke thought and get you guys in that framework. Because I don't hear a lot of people talking about it like this in this way, especially with this reckless procreation. And people want to know why the children are the way they are. Why are the children so angry and hostile and violent and detached and disrespectful? That comes from a lot of reckless procreating. Same thing with a lot of violence and all this stuff going on in the world. People are uh, recklessly using their life force sexual energy. This hookup culture is another just a disaster. They're encouraging people to weaken their life force. Now, mind you, not only when we have reckless sex, not only are we opening up ourselves to all these physical things that I pointed out, but we open ourselves up to these entities that we were talking about where they can latch on, because the weaker our auric field, because it's all we're a system, the weaker our body electric is, the weaker our magnetic force field will be. And so it becomes fractured, darkened, and it makes it easier for these entities and these forces we can't see to latch on and usurp and pull our power. And this is really, when people talk about aging, do you know, now sit in this with me, there really is no aging. What we really go through is a combination of programming with the birthdays, saying I'm getting something years old. You're programming your body electric to do that. Then celebrating birthdays. Then cell degeneration. Part of cell degeneration is not just the bad things we eat, poor air we breathe, and the water that we're drinking. It's also those things they put in us from the time we're born. That plays a part. Chemicals put in the food, but it is also recklessly spreading out our vessels, letting any and everything in our vessel. Have you ever looked at someone like way up in age who brags about having 2, 3, 4,000 bodies? Look at them. I guarantee you, they're gonna look way older than what the age implies. They're gonna have a bunch of health problems. They're gonna look broke down. They're not gonna have no glow, no nothing. This is why bragging about having a bunch of body ain't cute. It ain't a good thing for male or female, especially the women. I'm really gonna be on women about this stuff, because women are the gatekeepers. Women have the portal. Women are the mothers of civilization. Women is the foundation, and if the foundation is filthy, nasty, and toe all the way up, there's no hope for the rest of us. So even if you're with one man, women, ladies, and you know that man is constantly cheating on you and he's bringing that to you, you are ruining and messing up your body electric, and you're opening yourself up to all of this madness and potential mental diseases and attachments and so on and so forth. So I want to touch on that in terms of reckless procreation. Now let me kind of get into, from a metaphysical point of view, when we have sex, when we have sex, and let's say you're with someone who's equally yoked, and you both understand what that experience is going to be like. But let's just say one is a smoker, a heavy smoker of cigarettes. When we have sex with someone who is, let's say, smoking or doing drugs or something like that, we take in that energy. But if your calibration level is high enough, you may be able to thwart or derail it or throw it off or neutralize it, or you could be one of those in a position where you can give that person a little bit of your energy, only if you two dealing with each other, and you can help that person energetically move away from those bad habits to begin building on raising their frequency and their calibration. Does that make sense? Now, having a lot of sex with someone you are in love with is fortifying. That's building power. This is why we live in a society where the powers that be don't want love. They don't want no kind of love going on, because they want, when we come together and have intimacy and sex with no love, no respect, they want to be able to have the leg up. But when you come together in love, honor, reverence, and respect, you're creating something. We're fortifying one another. We're giving power to one another, and we're magnifying that power within the collective. You get it? So that is the positive, another positive side of engaging in sex with intelligence. Again, I can keep going on this, and I would rather type all these parts down so that I don't miss a certain talking point. I just want to put enough out there to get your juices flowing. And if you guys want to, if you want me to do a video only about this, leave a comment in the, once this video is posted, leave a comment. If I see enough comments asking me to do it, I would do a video specifically only about that so that I'm not all over the place. Hold on a second, guys. Oh, by the way, I'm eating apples and peaches. So good. Now, let me get into semen retention. Now, oh, y'all know what? I was going to read. I'll read a little bit. I was going to read. This article is kind of long about semen retention because it's getting late. I need to get ready to roll out. But let me read this little bit about semen retention because it is linked to the same thing, but how the method in which it is being done can differ. There's that article. Okay, what to know about semen retention. Semen retention refers to the practice of avoiding ejaculation. Proponents suggest that it has many potential benefits, ranging from physical to emotional and spiritual. Semen retention refers to when a person intentionally avoids ejaculating. So that means that if a man has enough self-control, he can have sexual intercourse. This is where I say it can vary, because you can have sexual intercourse, which will not be celibacy, but if you don't ejaculate, that's semen retention. You get it? You see how the two can be one and the same on one, but different on another. So, but I don't think there are many men out there that have that level of restraint. I don't see it. I think we will evolve to that point, but it's not in abundance. There are always exceptions to every rule, but men in general, no. If a man is having sexual intercourse, they're going to want to go for the glory. You know what I'm saying? Semen retention refers to when a person intentionally avoids ejaculating. A person can do this by abstaining from any sexual activity, stopping before the point of ejaculation, or teaching themselves to orgasm without ejaculating. Now, I don't know anything about how to, and I haven't practiced this. There's a book about how men can they can ejaculate and pull the semen up through the spine and the brain. See, I can't speak on that because I haven't tried it. I haven't experimented. I don't know anything about it. But what I did do is I did a calibration reading on it, and it is a very good practice and will be highly beneficial. I even got a 1,000 calibration reading on it. Now, the question then becomes, can the average man commit to mastering that? Because I'm sure that's going to take a lot of mastering over the self. Where was I? Although this practice may seem new, this is likely only due to recent internet popularity. In fact, semen retention is an ancient practice believed to boost male physical and spiritual energy. Now, we know that people who are into sports, athleticism, and things like that, there's a reason why they tell them guys not to engage in any kind of sexual activity, not even masturbation, before a game or a fight or whatever they do, because they understood there's a scientific study on this, that we are at our best performance when we retain that energy and hold that energy. Now, just imagine if we can master doing that when we want to create a moment or be in our best shape for an event or something like that. Imagine if we can apply that to our entire existence, what we would be doing. This is why I'm feeling this. Even though I haven't done semen retention in that sense, I'm feeling it. Some other names for semen retention include what? Coitus, I can't even get the word out. Coitus, it's coitus or coitus reservatus. No, my mind is trying to put something there that's not. Reservatus, seminal conservation, sexual continence. It is also known or included in practices called carizia. It's Italian. It's an Italian term. Carezza or cariza. These words are very foreign to my tongue. Mathuma, which is a Hindu tantra. Sahaya, a Hindu yoga. Tantra, which is Hinduism and Buddhism. And Kai Yin Pu Yang and Kai Yang Pu Yin. Tails. Excuse me if I butcher those words, y'all. So those words are those I don't usually say. There's not much scientific evidence to suggest that it is either healthy or unhealthy to hold in semen. If a person does not ejaculate, the body will break the semen down and reabsorb it into the body. And again, that last part right there is what I was talking about when there's a book out there that is teaching men how to consciously do that rather than let the body do it for him. And then the other thing, wet dreams, if a man does not ejaculate. Now, this is what I did a lot of because I was not doing a lot of ejaculating in my teens and 20s. So I would have these wet dreams. So the body will ejaculate as well. That's behind a lot of wet dreams. The body knows how to balance itself. It's a very, very powerful, intelligent instrument. We're in it, we're a part of it, but it has an intelligence built in on its own. And when we treat it right and do right by it, respecting it, it will work optimally for us. Okay, in terms of mental health, semen retention, increased motivation, improved energy and focus, more self-confidence, reduced anxiety, better memory, improved concentration. In terms of physical health, you get clearer skin, increased testosterone, yes, more weight loss, increased muscle mass, physical rejuvenation, a deeper voice, and spiritual health, a greater sense of purpose, stronger or deeper emotional bonds and relationships, and a stronger sense of overall harmony. Now, I can attest to all of that. When I love, my love is real. The people in my life that I love, they know my love. I have their back. I'm a very loyal person. And that level of love, I'm not just going to open it up and give it to anybody. My body, my mind, all of that must be earned. And it must be someone who's in the same field as me. And I share this with you guys to encourage you guys to start moving and thinking along the same way. Because this is how we will really accelerate not only the maximal potential with everything that we are and everything that we want to do and be, but get that perfect light body. Because remember, when we're down here going through this stuff, a part of what we're down here to do is to master energy. And we're mastering energy, we're learning energy and all this different complexities from different perspectives. But when we master that energy and we get our perfect light body, which would be our God body, having a God body, you have to have a perfect balance of your masculine and feminine. Look, we're in a world where femininity is frowned down upon. Toxic men think that because they're bigger and stronger, they're supposed to have this and that. All of this sick mentality that is literally creating these imbalances within the collective and individually. You have to have a master your masculine and feminine equally to get your perfect light body. You have to be full of compassion, your empathy, your mind power, your fortitude, your mental strength, the levels of tests you've been put through, where you have overcome or triumphant, has to dominate those tests and trials that have pulled you down in your lower self. Now, having said that, that perfect light body is golden. Now I'm gonna school y'all about. I'm gonna share an experience with you guys. Then I'm gonna talk about why gold is a universal power source. And just like the physical has a non-physical conscious component to it, so does gold, jewelry, all those components. Gold has an energetic component, and just like physically, gold is indestructible. You can bend it, mold it, reshape it, and all this kind of stuff, but it cannot be destroyed. The same is true for its gas side and its liquid side. Everything is solid, gas, and liquid, right? So I share this with you. This is you guys can't see it. The light is probably too bright. This is a picture of my mother. This was given to my sister, my brother, and myself by a close family friend who called my mother Mom. We've known him. He used to be my sister's boyfriend, but he's still very involved. We're all very close. He's family now. They're not boyfriend and girlfriend, but he's family, and he will always come and sit and talk with Mom. That my mom was like his mother as well, and we're all close. He's like my brother. So he bought us this, and it's in gold. And the reason why I'm talking about this and tying this all to mastering the body and semen retention and sex and celibacy is that my mother has her light body. Now, I told you guys my mother had come to me in many different ways. One of the ways she came to me, I only share with my immediate family. The way she came to me, and it was her first time showing off. She was showing off. Now, let me tell you, my mother, I was dreaming. I was having a very lucid dream. This was not long after she passed. I was feeling her in different ways, but this is the first time and the only time she came to me in this way. I was dreaming. I don't remember what the dream was. My mother, like an overlay, she just appeared over the dream. Now, I never had a dream like this ever in my life. She appeared just by herself like an overlay, and she was smart. She was young. I looked just like her. And just imagine me as a woman. My mother is actually this complexion. How light I look on camera. My mother is this complexion. My mother she appeared over the dream, and everybody in my family know what I'm talking about. But my mother would be looking real fly and her hair on point. She feeling herself. She would do this thing. She'd like, with her hands like, like look at me, like real dainty. She appeared over the dream like that, and she was like doing that, right? Like showing off. And I'm looking at her in my mind's eye, and she was so happy, and the light radiating from her. She had on no makeup, but she looked like she was like in her early 30s, late 20s. She had on a long gown. Now, her hair was in a style I can describe it, but I would rather have it show an image of it to do it justice. But it was like spiked and pressed coming down. It was in a style she probably would not have worn down here. Now, when we're over there, we can look any way we want, shape shift anything by thought instantly. Everything is instantly with our light body. Her hair was gold, not blonde. Gold. There's a difference between when you look at gold. The gold is gold from inside out. Alchemically, gold is a different texture, look, and feeling. Her hair, imagine hair being gold, literally real gold being the texture of hair. Her hair was gold. Then the gown she had on, it was white, but it was layers of white. And it had these little micro particles in it moving. Each layer was moving around, like shifting around. And I saw these specks of gold in that. So when we go through these alchemical processes, because again, physically, we are a manifestation of the physical earth. And our consciousness and our astral body and our etheric body and all those other bodies is a manifestation of all the other elements in the cosmos. We are a universe unto ourselves. So just like what happened when gold is formed in earth through an alchemical process, we are kind of doing the same thing when we do certain things and make certain moves and master certain things with the physical body to get that light body. You guys see what I'm saying? You guys still with me? 30 people in the room, supposedly. 30 people in the room, 28 likes. You guys still with me? So my mother was standing there, and what happened was I got so triggered, I leaped out of my body and tried to jump in to grab and hug her, and I broke it. This is a very common side effect of these things when we become very charged and emotional. We break that connection. Curry, what's up, Curry family? Welcome. I'm glad to see you here. That's another one. Avon, welcome, fam. Who else is in here? Who's come in I didn't see? Rashad, what's up? That's not true. You're projecting true masculine is being frowned on top. Don't do that. Huh? Wait a minute, let me go back. Easier. Oh, Rashad, you were talking to someone. Easier astral travel and retaining memory of said travel. That's not your projecting. True masculine is being frowned on to true masculine. No. What you're talking about, that's not true masculine. See, we have a distortion of what masculinity is. That masculinity you're talking about, that's that toxic masculinity that I was talking about earlier. Ain't nobody frowning and looking down on men who are standing up, standing their ground, being true to who they are, properly taking care of and loving their women, their children, men who are not running around taking advantage of, throwing and wielding violence on people for brownie points. That's a different kind of masculinity. No, that's the masculine, that toxic masculinity is what I'm talking about. If that's what the point that you're making. And I would love to debate more, because I can go there with anybody who come in here and try to say if that's what you're getting at, because I don't know the full context of that message, because I missed a lot. But when I talk about masculine, I'm not talking about this mess. If that masculine was so good, who's been running the world for thousands of years? And look at the state of the world. And the only reason why it's getting better is because there is a neutralization of that masculine energy, that level, that warped kind of masculine energy taking place, and because more women are stepping into their power. That's why. Now I can debate anybody on that one. All right, that's all I have for now. Yeah, huge propaganda on masculinity. Again, if this version of masculinity we have on this planet right now is so great, please tell us why it's the world the way it is when men are ruling. These are the men who set the tone for what is masculine, what is acceptable for masculinity, what is acceptable or not acceptable in terms of what a man or real man or woman is, for that matter. We got it. A lot of this stuff is rooted in generational curses. And again, a lot of people who watch my content, we are outcasts and we're the misfits. Part of our role is coming down here and rejecting the popular narrative anyway, and to bring forth a better, brighter, lighter way. It's not our job to go along with the norm. There's nothing about me normal, and no one is going to make me go along with a quote unquote normal narrative that's playing a huge role in this disaster we call life. Now, don't get me wrong, some of it is absolutely necessary for some soul, but there is and has been a tremendous imbalance, and the scale has been totally imbalanced for a very, very long time. We're here to get it back on equal playing field. So on that note, I want to thank you all so much for spending this moment with me. I will be back again, and again, special shout out to Miss Kitty Lulu and Connie, Avon, Mr. Cruz, Paradigm Collector, Gaia Earth, Sean Dale, Asia. You guys know I'll be here far more longer than I need to be if I were to say everybody. If I didn't say your name, does not mean that you are absolutely being overlooked. That is far from the case. Some of my videos don't appear on my channel anymore. Oh, we must talk. I wouldn't be surprised. It very well could be. Remember, my channel was hacked, and they put a lot of my videos. They put all of my videos on private. Could you name one video that you don't see so I can just do a check later? When my channel was hacked, they put all of my videos on private, and it's very possible some of them. My last live stream. Hold on, let me look. Hold on. If it's not there, I must have said something that the gatekeepers, again, when you're not speaking a narrative that they approve of, this is where it's going. This is why they're encouraging everybody to get podcasts and set up these lucrative accounts and all this stuff, so that if you say something that goes against their narrative, or if you say something they don't want the masses to know, they'll be justified in going in and taking it down and demonetizing you. But my existence is not dependent on none of this online money. Like I say, I explained last time where my support comes from. So my livelihood and my life is not none of these platforms paying me anything. So I'm not dependent on it. But that's what they want to get everybody dependent and get all their life and work online, so that they can basically control you and control the narrative. Now that some of that is going to play out, but that's definitely not going to exist in the new earth. It's not going to be permitted. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me check real quick, see if, because it very well may be. I can see. Yeah, my last live is showing. I can see it, but it only has 879 views in a month. So it's probably shadow banned. It's here, but it's probably shadow banned. And shadow ban means that when you write a comment and you post something online, you will see it, but to the general public, they won't see it. And they do a lot of that's been going on for some time now. It is disgusting. It is disgusting. All right, guys. I'm about to go now. Again, thank you guys so much for spending this time with me. Please make sure you like and share. Make sure the like stick. If you got anything you want me to cover, suggestions or whatever, please leave a comment in the description box. And before you post your comment, because they do delete comments, we've called them many times, type your comment, save it, and just keep reposting it. If you see that it has been removed, type it on somewhere else first and then paste it. This is ridiculous. So again, what is all this about? What is all this really about? He who controls the flow of information dictates our perception of reality. And so as long as we're running the reality and perception of reality they approve of, the ones that they benefit from, where they can keep taking advantage of people. That's all good, but don't come around and try to make people aware of their power. That's the real problem. That's what they have a problem with, that they see us as getting in the way of their power. It's going to happen either way. So anyway, have a good. Hey, Cheyenne, you just came in. Oh, you said great live. So I was busy running my mouth. Hey, Cheyenne, I'm going to call you, babe. Keep it growing and flowing, everybody. Immeasurable love always.